welcome back. In this lesson you will learn a bow exercise that will give you a fundamental understanding of movement and bow guidance. You will understand more about how the interaction between fingers and the arm works, and when to bend and stretch the fingers, and how much or little you have to lift the bow when you move it over the strings. Bow movement is a little complicated, and in this lesson we are just going to focus on movement and no sound, which will later result in better sound. You can also look at this exercise as a kind of meditation exercise, where you train focus and control. Okay, remember the last exercise where we used a pencil? Like this. Stretch and bend. Stretch and bend. Okay, pay attention. Stretch and bend. Stretch and bend. Can you see where I'm going with this? Okay, look here. Now we are going to do the same movement that we learned in the previous exercise, with the same movement of the pencil forward and backward, by stretching out and pulling back the fingers. And now we are going to simulate the real bow movement at the same time, where we also involve elbow, shoulder and wrist. The reason we do this exercise is to train better flexibility in all fingers, especially the little finger. This will later result in better control when playing and avoid the bow bouncing off the strings. Also be conscious of the wrists that now does this movement. You can picture painting a wall sideways and move your wrist like this. Okay, find the real bow and try to do the same as just shown. Stretch and bend while simulating the bow movement. And notice the fingers. The little finger is bent on top of the bow when close here and pointing straight furthest out here. And the wrist as if you're painting sideways. Now you can find your violin and do the same. Place it on your shoulder and keep in place with your chin. We are now going to try to do the exact same movement, but just above the strings on the violin, without touching the strings. This might be a little difficult in the beginning, but this is a great exercise that will give you significantly improvement, even with just 5 minutes of practice now and then. So try to stay real close to the strings, but don't touch the strings. Just above the strings, only 1 centimeter, and try not to touch the strings, but try to stay as close as possible to the strings. Also, try to stay within this area between the fingerboard and the violin bridge. Another thing you must practice is to use your elbow joint actively. Open it up when the strings reach the middle of the bow and out, and all the way to the outer part of the tip. And then little by little move slow and pull the fingers back together towards the frog. Remember to stretch the fingers out, furthest out here. And it's not so important if the little finger is not on the bow here. But when we come back, pull the fingers back together on the way and try to bend the little finger on top of the bow. Spend some time to practice this specific part, and you can focus on all the strings one at a time. This exercise is a challenge even for me, but a very good one to master the bow better.